Hello everybody. Today I decided to make a video about how the debates could really affect the election and three different scenarios about how this election could be affected by the debates. So the first scenario, let me type in the candidates' names first. The first scenario would be that Joe Biden actually overperforms by some miracle and actually wins the debates. This would result in a Joe Biden victory, and I'll show you that map. A lot of these states that Trump's still are still supposed to win safe would go safe. Uh, Maine's second district would get closer. That would go likely, and Nebraska's second district would flip to Joe Biden. Arizona would flip, it would lean. Texas would get closer, it would lean. Iowa, Ohio, those would lean to Trump. Now the Rust Belt, Minnesota would go likely. Wisconsin would lean. Michigan would go likely, and Pennsylvania would lean to Joe Biden. And then obviously all the safe states that the Democrats normally have would all go safe. New Hampshire, that would probably lean. New York would be safe. Maine at large, likely to the Democrats. Maine's first district, safe, and New Mexico, say Colorado and Virginia would go safe. North Carolina, that would tilt to Donald Trump. I think Georgia would. I think Georgia would tilt, and Florida, actually, that would go to Joe Biden. So that and Nevada would go likely to the Democrats, and Alaska would go safe to Donald Trump. So that's the first scenario if Joe Biden is to win the debates, which I'm doubtful of. Um, Now the second scenario is basically if nothing really dramatic happens, if neither candidate really wins, if it's just a draw, and not much really changes. So if the candidates were to like draw into the debates, not much about the electoral map would change. I think it would still be a narrow Trump victory. Um, so we would see the Rust Belt all narrowly go to Trump, including Minnesota and New Hampshire. Those would still flip, and Arizona would probably tilt to Donald Trump, and then the Democrats would take all the safe states that they are supposed to take, and Virginia, Colorado, New Mexico would go likely, and Nevada would lean. Alaska would go safe to the Republicans, forget to fill that out, and Maine's second district, would go safe to Donald Trump. Maine at large would lean, and Maine's first district would go safe to Joe Biden. So yeah, that is if not much really happens in the debates if the candidates kind of draw. So that would mean that the main issues really don't change and the electorate stays the same. Now, this next scenario is if Donald Trump absolutely dominates the debates and makes a fool of Joe Biden. So if Joe Biden has a bunch of gaffes, if he calls Trump a lion dog faced pony soldier, or some strange things that Joe likes to say. Iowa, Ohio, Texas would go safe. Georgia would go likely. North Carolina, Florida would all go likely. I think Arizona would. I would say Arizona would go likely, and then all the Rust Belt would lean to Donald Trump. Now, a lot of these states that are normally safe for the Democrats would get closer, including Oregon. I think Nevada would tilt to Donald Trump. Colorado would lean. Virginia would lean. New Mexico would still be likely. Um, I would say Delaware would still go safe, but and New Jersey, but Rhode Island and Connecticut would go likely to Biden. And Maine's first district would go likely to Joe Biden, and Maine at large would tilt to Donald Trump. So yeah, that's all the scenarios for the debates. So if you watch them tomorrow, you can see how they go. Uh, Obviously, this would have to happen if the debates actually have a huge impact on the electorate, which I think it's possible, especially if one candidate dominates the other in the debates. So yeah, if Trump dominates Joe Biden and makes a complete fool out of him, will win 324 electoral votes to Joe Biden's 214. Oh, I forgot to fill out New Hampshire. That would lean Donald Trump. It would actually be 328 to 210. So that's really it for this election prediction. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe.